Hello students, my name is Sunny sir and this video is for class 3 subject grammar. So in the previous video we already saw the kinds of sentences. So which were the kinds of sentences? Statement, question, command, exclamatory or request. These were the 5 kinds of sentences that we saw in the previous video. And exercise number 4 of chapter 1 kinds of sentences was remaining. Now let us just complete this exercise quickly. As you can see on your screen, exercise number 4, complete the sentences. So here the beginning of the sentence is the few words are given and you have to complete the sentence. You have to write your own sentence. You have to make your own sentence. So here I will write some sample answers, and with that sample answers you can understand how to make sentences, and after that you can make your own sentences. So let us just begin. First one, have you seen dash? So have you seen dash? What have you seen? We can write anything over here. Have you seen, let us say, mother? Have you seen mother? So this is the answer. Let me put it over here. Yes. Have you seen mother? This is the question. So you can write your own sentence like, have you seen my book? Have you seen father? Whatever sentence you want to make. Sentence number 2, please do dash. So you are requesting someone to please do something for you. So let us say, please do not speak loudly. So this is the sample answer that I have written. Please do not speak loudly. Maybe because you are learning, you are studying. So that is what I have written. You can make your own sentence. Please do not talk in the class. That is one more possible answer. Please do not run fast or you may fall down. That is another possible answer. Then sentence number 3, he is sleeping dash. So here you can write like, how is he sleeping? Is he sleeping nicely or is he not able to sleep? So let us write over here, he is sleeping peacefully. So peacefully means very calmly, very nicely sleeping. He has a sound sleep, you can say. So he is sleeping peacefully. That is the sentence. Or you can also write that he is sleeping in his bedroom, he is sleeping on the sofa. All these are the possible answers. Then next sentence, do you know dash? So what do you know? You can write anything over here. Do you know, like for example, there was a match being played. So do you know who won the match? That's what we can write over here. Do you know who won the match? And then question mark. Make sure you put a question mark because this is a question that I have written. As you can see, there is a question mark here. So that is a question. Do you know who won the match? Now which are the other possible sentences that you can make? Do you know who is that man? Do you know how to write this answer? These are the possible answers. Then next, oh, such a dash. Oh, such a dash. Now here you can write your own answer. So here you are describing something with exclamation, a sudden emotion you can say. So that is exclamation. An exclamatory sentence this is, oh, such a dash. So we can imagine anything like such a beautiful drawing, such a beautiful song, such a beautiful weather. So let me write one of these. Oh, such a beautiful song, exclamation mark. Oh, such a beautiful song. So you can also write over here, oh, such a beautiful drawing it is. Oh, such a beautiful weather. So these are the possible answers. And as you can see, we have completed exercise number 4, which was remaining in chapter number 1. And with this you can make sentences. These are the incomplete sentences which are given and you need to complete the sentences. And let us quickly revise what have we done in the lesson. In this lesson we have done 5 kinds of sentences. From this, which are these types of sentences? Number 1, can you see question mark? So that is a question. Number 2, please is given. So that means it is request, R. This is question, Q. As we have done in the previous exercise, we can also write it over here. Here it is question, so we can just write Q. And here it is please, so we can write R as it is a request. Then he is sleeping peacefully. Sentence number 3 is just a simple statement. Then sentence number 4, do you know who won the match? There is a question mark. So again that is a question. Q for question. Last one, oh, such a beautiful song. So I can see exclamation mark is there. That's why it is exclamatory sentence. E for exclamatory. So students, we have revised what have we done in the previous lecture, and the last exercise, that is exercise number 4, is over now. So let us move ahead quickly towards chapter number 2. So as you can see on your screen, chapter number 2 is subject and predicate, our new topic for today. And let us understand this lesson. First, read these sentences. The girl lost her pencil. The cat ran after the mouse. The boy is sleeping. The postman delivers letters. These are the sentences, as you can see. In each sentence, someone is doing an action. For example, the girl, the cat, the boy, and the postman. So as you can see on your screen, in the first sentence, who lost the pencil? The girl. So let me underline the girl. Means the girl is the person who is acting. The girl is the person who is doing something. There is an action of something being lost. So the girl loses something. In second sentence, who did run? The cat. So we can say the cat is the main thing in the sentence, who is performing the action. Third sentence, the boy is sleeping. So who is performing the action of sleeping? The boy. As you can see over here, the boy is sleeping. So the action is being performed by the boy. The boy is doing something. The last sentence, the postman delivers the letters. So who delivered the letter? Who dropped the letter? The postman. So the postman is the person who is doing the action of delivering the letter. So in all the above sentences, as you can see, I have underlined the subject. Subject means the doer of the action, the one who is doing something. For example, as I told you, the cat is running, so cat is doing something. The postman is delivering the letter, he is doing something. So all these things, all these words which I have underlined are the doer of the sentence. See, let us read the definition. In a sentence, the doer of the action is called the subject. The doer of the action, that is the main word. The doer means what? The one who is doing the action, the one who is doing something. As I told you, the boy is doing something. What is he doing? He is sleeping. So he is called the doer. The postman, the boy, the cat, the girl, all these are called the doer of the action. They are doing something. They are performing an action. So that people, those who are performing the action are called subject. Now, every sentence has two parts, that is the subject and the predicate. In each sentence you will see subject and predicate both. The part which contains the doer of the action is called subject. The rest of the sentence is the predicate. The predicate part always contains the verb. Now be very careful over here. As we have read the definition, subject means what? The one, the person or the animal or something performing the action, one who is doing the action, that is called the doer, that is subject. And the rest of the sentence, after subject, the remaining sentence, the rest of the sentence is called predicate. And always there will be a verb in the predicate part. You will see some action verb. For example, you can say, as we have seen in the previous example, delivers, then ran, lost, all these are the verbs. So verbs will show that which action is being performed, and verbs will always be there in the part of predicate. After subject, the remaining part of the sentence is called predicate. See the examples which are given below. For example, the tall girl lost her pencil. This is the sentence. Now here in the sentence, as you can see, the tall girl is the subject. Why? Because she has performed an action. What action? The action of losing the pencil. So the tall girl, that is the subject. Lost her pencil means the remaining part of the sentence. The rest of the sentence is called predicate. And can you tell me what is the verb over here? The verb over here is lost. that is the verb. The action being performed over here is losing the pencil. So the tall girl, the tall is the adjective describing the girl, so that is also the part of subject. So the tall girl, that is subject, and here is the verb lost her pencil. This whole part, the remaining part of the sentence, is called predicate. So I hope that subject and predicate is clear in your mind. And if it is clear, let us just quickly solve the exercise related to subject and predicate. So exercise number 1. Circle the subjects and underline the predicates in the sentence. Means we have to find out subjects and predicates. And after finding the subjects, we have to circle the subjects, and when we find the predicate, we have to underline. The rest of the sentence is predicate. So first we have to circle the subjects, and the remaining part we have to underline. So the first one, a tiger was caught in the net. What is the subject over here? Who is performing the action? Who is being caught? Tiger. So the tiger is the subject. We have underlined it. And what is the predicate? The remaining part of the sentence, was caught in the net. This is the predicate. So this is the sentence, a tiger was caught in the net. We have circled the subject and we have underlined the predicate. Second, a goat bleated loudly. A goat bleated loudly. So who bleated loudly? A goat. So a goat is our subject. And the remaining part of the sentence, the rest of the sentence is predicate, that is bleated loudly. Maybe because it was paining or she was suffering from something illness, you can say. So a goat is the subject, she is performing the action of bleating, and the remaining sentence, bleated loudly, is our predicate. Next sentence, the hare ran fast. Who ran fast? The hare. So our subject is the hare, obviously, because the hare is performing the action of running, right? So the hare is the subject, and the rest of the part as it is, the remaining sentence is predicate, ran fast. Next, all the mice laughed at the sleeping cat. So who laughed? Who is performing the action of laughing? Who laughed? Who is the doer of the action? All the mice. So all the mice, that is our subject, because all the mice performed the action together. They laughed together. So all the mice, that is our subject. And the remaining part, the rest of the sentence, is our predicate, laughed at the sleeping cat. That is the predicate of the sentence. And as you can see over here, I have circled the subjects and underlined the predicates. So let us just see which are the verbs. So see, in the first one, caught, that is the main verb. Caught, action of catching, that is the verb. And as I told you, in predicate part, in the part which we have underlined, that is our predicate, there you will always see a verb, the action word. So here is caught. In the second one, bleated, that is the verb, that is the action performed. The third sentence, ran. So the action of running is being performed. So ran is the verb. The next one, all the mice laughed at the sleeping cat. So what is the verb over here? Laughed. So action of laughing is being performed. So the verb is laughed. That is our verb. So in all the sentences we saw subject, predicate and verbs. Let us read ahead. Next one, I woke up at 4 o'clock. So who woke up? Who is performing the action? Who is the one? I. I performed the action. I woke up. So I is the subject. And the rest of the sentence, as you know, is predicate. Woke up at 4 o'clock. So only the first alphabet I is the subject, and remaining part, the rest of the sentence is predicate. What is the verb over here? Woke, action of waking up. So woke is the verb over here. Subject, predicate and verb is given. Next sentence, the children are too young for this test. So what is the subject over here? Who is too young for the test? The children. So the children, that is our subject. The children are too young for the test. So the children, that is our subject, and the rest of the sentence is predicate, are too young for this test. Now as you can see over here, the main verb is not there, right? So are is our verb. That is not the main verb, but that is helping verb, but still it is a verb. So subject, predicate and verb. Next sentence, I shall finish the work soon. So who will finish the work soon? I, right? So I is the subject. I will finish the work soon. You can say I shall finish the work soon. So I is the subject and the rest of the sentence is predicate. Shall finish the work soon. Here the main verb is finish. This is the helping verb, but here is the main verb. So we got subject, predicate and verb. Next one. The monkeys jumped from one tree to the other. As you can see over here, monkeys are jumping from one tree to the other tree, right? You can see over here how they are enjoying. So what is the subject? Who jumped from one tree to the other tree? Who performed the action of jumping? The monkeys, right? Because there is more than one. So monkeys, S. So the monkeys are the one who is performing the action of jumping. So that is our subject. And the rest of the sentence is predicate. Jumped from one tree to the other tree. That is our predicate. And see again, this is the subject, this is the predicate. Where is the verb? Jumped. That is the action being performed by monkeys. So that is the verb. Next one. He sat on the chair. So who sat on the chair? Who performed the action of sitting? He, right? So he sat on the chair. So we have only one subject, one word subject, that is he. He is sitting on the chair or he sat on the chair. And the rest of the sentence is our predicate, that is sat on the chair. And what is the verb over here? Sat. That is the verb, that is the action performed of sitting. Action being performed over here is sitting on the chair. So that is the verb. So subject, predicate and verb. Next sentence, Mrs. Call teaches me English, right? So who teaches you English? You have to ask the question like this. Who teaches you English? So Mrs. Call. So Mrs. Call is the subject because she is performing the action of teaching. She is the one who is teaching. So she is the teacher. So teaches me English. That is the rest of the sentence and that is our predicate. So subject is Mrs. Call. The rest of the sentence is predicate. And what is the verb over here? What is the action being performed? Action being performed is teaching. So the verb teaches is our verb. So the word teaches, that is our main verb over here. Right? Next sentence, mother is making dinner. Who is making dinner? Who makes dinner for you? Mother. So mother makes dinner. So mother is our subject. And the rest of the sentence is the predicate part, is making dinner. That is the rest of the sentence. And the rest of the sentence is predicate. What is the verb over here? Is making. See, ing is given over here. So this is called gerund, ing form of the verb. Also is the helping verb, you can say. Right? There is no main verb in the sentence over here. Ing verb is not as the main verb, but it is still considered a verb. So subject, predicate and verb is given over here. The next sentence, Pinky speaks softly. Right? Pinky speaks softly. So who speaks softly? Ask the question. After reading the sentence, ask the question. So we can get the answer, Pinky. Who speaks softly? Pinky speaks softly. So that is our subject. And the rest of the sentence means speaks softly. That is our predicate. And where is the verb? Do we have main verb? Yes. Speaks. That is our main verb. The action being performed by Pinky is the action of speaking. So speaks is the main verb over here. So subject, predicate and verb is given. The rest of the sentence is predicate after the subject. Next one, he lives upstairs. Where does he live? Can we get the answer? Upstairs. Yes. But what question do we have to ask? Here we ask the question who. So all the places we are asking the question who. So who lives upstairs? The place is given, but we don't have to underline the place. We have to ask the question who. So who lives upstairs? He. Right? He lives upstairs. So we have to circle the subject, that is he. Because he lives upstairs. He is performing the action of living upstairs. So the rest of the sentence is predicate, lives upstairs. Now can we get the verb? Yes, lives is the main verb. So we have subject, we have predicate over here, and this is the main verb of the sentence. Understood? Next one, the ship sailed under the bridge. The ship sailed under the bridge. So you can ask the question, who sailed under the bridge? No, because ship is non-living. So what? What sailed under the bridge? What did go under the bridge? The ship. So that is our subject. The ship sailed under the bridge. The rest of the sentence let us underline because it is the predicate part. The ship sailed under the bridge. So here we have subject, here we have predicate, and here we have main verb, that is sailed, because the action being performed over here is the action of sailing, that is the verb. Next one, the children are going to a fancy dress party. Who is going to the fancy dress party? Who is going? The children. So that is our subject. The children are going to the fancy dress party, right? So the children is our subject, and the rest of the sentence are going to a fancy dress party, that is our predicate. So now we have subject, we have predicate, and we have the verb. What is the verb? Are going. Here ing form of the verb is given, but the main verb is missing. The main verb is not given, but still we can consider this as the verb. Here it is helping verb, as you can see. So the children is the subject and the rest of the sentence is predicate. And in all the sentences, as we can see on your on our screen, I have given you subject, predicate, and I have also told you which are the verbs. Next exercise is match the subjects with the predicates. We have to match these two. Match the following, you can say. So this side, left side, we have got subjects, and right side we have got predicates. So we have to read all the subjects and we have to try to match it with the predicates given on the right hand side. Be very careful. Read the subject carefully and try to match it over here. And when you join subject with the predicate, you have to make sure that the sentence makes sense, means the sentence is complete. It should not be weird, it should make a complete sense and it should look legible. Now let us read. Mary, the peacock, Raj and Nitin, Ruskin Bond, a shoemaker, a dentist, the Taj Mahal, the earth, a poet, a rainbow. Predicates, let us read. Looks after our teeth, makes shoes, writes for children, live in Thane, goes to school, is our national bird, writes poems, has 7 colors, is in Agra, moves around the sun. Okay, so we have already read subjects and predicates. Now we just have to match them. So let us match subjects with the predicates. Okay, so first one, marry. Marry. What do we match over here? Marry. Where will it come? Yes, Mary goes to school. You can say Mary goes to school. Right? Second one, the peacock. Now what is the peacock? Can you just see and tell me over here? Peacock is our national bird. So we all know, we have read it in the general knowledge book. Peacock is our national bird. So the peacock is the subject and the rest of the sentence given over here is predicate. In the first one also, Mary is the subject, goes to school, that is our predicate. The third one, Raj and Nitin. So Raj and Nitin dash. What do we write over here? Where do we match? Raj and Nitin live in Thane. We can just see their address is given over here, the place where they live. So Raj and Nitin live in Thane. Raj and Nitin, that is together a complete subject, and the rest of the sentence live in Thane, that is the predicate. Next one, Ruskin Bond. Now if you know Ruskin Bond, who is Ruskin Bond? Ruskin Bond is the writer, right? So Ruskin Bond writes for children. Only one option is given for the writer over here. So that is option number 3. Ruskin Bond writes for children. He writes very good things for children. Next one, a shoemaker. What does a shoemaker do? It's very common, it's very easy. Shoemaker repairs our shoes, makes shoes, right? We go to shoemaker when we have some problem with our shoes, something is wrong. So a shoemaker makes shoes, very easy it is. And the first one, shoemaker, is the subject and the rest of the sentence is predicate. Next one, a dentist. F, sentence number F. A dentist. What does a dentist do? What is the job of the dentist? Dentist is a type of doctor. So which kind of doctor dentist is? He looks after our teeth. So where is the option? First one. Can you see the first option? The dentist looks after our teeth. That is the option. Number 1. He is a type of doctor. Next, the Taj Mahal. Oh, now this Taj Mahal is one of the 7 wonders of the world, right? So, where is the Taj Mahal? If you have read or if you might have heard, where is the Taj Mahal? The location. The Taj Mahal is in Agra. Agra is also name of city. So, the Taj Mahal is located in Agra. Now, next one. Next one is the earth. What does the earth do? Where does it move around? The earth moves around the sun. The earth moves around the sun. We have already learned this in science. Next one, a poet dash. What is the job of the poet? A poet writes poem. It's very easy to find out. The job of a poet is to write poems. He writes beautiful poems. And the last one, a rainbow. Now only one option is left, right? It's very easy. Only one option is left to be done. A rainbow has 7 colors. As we know, you might have seen rainbow. During rainy season, we have seen there are 7 colors, Vibgyor, right? 7 colors are there in the rainbow. So that is seen in the sky. And we can also see the peacocks dancing at that time. They enjoy rainbow and rainy season. So this was exercise number 2, matching the subjects with the predicates, and we have successfully done this exercise. Now exercise number 3, the last exercise of chapter number 2. Let us move ahead. Exercise number 3. The subject or the predicate is missing in these sentences. Write the missing parts and complete the sentences. Means in this exercise there are a few sentences given to all of us. We have to write either subject or predicate. As you can see in the first sentence, the subject is given, predicate is missing. We have to write this. In the second sentence, as you can see, subject is missing and predicate is given to us. So, likewise, we have to study all the sentences. We have to write whatever is missing in the sentence, and we have to make the sentence complete. We have to make the meaning of the sentence complete. The first one, a year, dash. Now, here we can write so many things. A year, how many days does it have? A year has 365 days. So this is one of the way we can complete the sentence. A year has 365 days. So let me place it over here. Next one, dash are swimming in the pool. So you can write anyone's name, right? You can write anyone's name over here. So dash are swimming in the pool. You can write Raj and Ravi. Raj and Ravi are swimming in the pool. We can write any names over here. The students are swimming in the pool or anyone. Next one, the angry lion dash. What did the angry lion do? The angry lion roared loudly. When the lion is angry, it will roar. So let us complete the sentence. The angry lion roared loudly. We'll stop. Yes, we placed predicate over here. In the first sentence, we placed predicate. In the second one, it was subject. Now again, in third one, we have placed predicate. The angry lion roared loudly. Next one, dash cleans her room every day. So you can write your own name, okay? And we can write any name over here. Let us write one name. You can say Alia. Alia cleans her room every day. So you can write your name also. Alia cleans her room every day. You can write any name over here. See, as I have placed it over here, you can write your name. You can write Ali cleans the room every day, right? Next one, the boy and his uncle dash. The boy and his uncle dash. Now we can say the boy and his uncle are playing, they are doing something. So let me write something. The boy and his uncle are eating apples. I want to write apples. The boy and his uncle are eating apples. So that is one of the possible answers which I have written. Next one, seals and seagulls dash. So these are the two types of birds, seals and seagulls. So they are mostly found near the seas. So we can write over here are found. Seals and seagulls are found near where? Near seas. So that is our answer. Seals and seagulls are found near seas. Next one, dash can be seen on the beach. Who can be seen on the beach? Whom can you see on the beach? So we can see many people on the beach. We can see anyone, right? So here let us write children. Children can be seen on the beach. You can also write your own sentence. Okay? Children can be seen on the beach. And see, the first alphabet should be capital as it is the first alphabet of the sentence. Next, my friends and I dash. So you and your friends play together, study together, eat together, whatever you want, you can write. So here I am writing my friends and I study together. My friends and I study together. So this is one of the possible answers which I have written over here. My friends and I study together. Next, dash tell us not to go near the cliff. Means at a height, your parents especially, they will warn you when you are at a good height not to go near the cliff. So who tells you not to go near the cliff? Our parents, you can write. Our parents tell us not to go near the cliff at a good height, or you may fall down. Next one, the last one, the puppies dash. So what are the puppies doing, or what are they doing over there? You can write the puppies are very hungry. Maybe they want to eat something. They have not eaten anything since morning, or from last 2 days. You can say the puppies are very hungry. Here you can also write the puppies are playing in the park. Whatever you want to write. So here you can see seals and seagulls. The sentence which we have written over here, seals and seagulls. This sentence, as you can see, the birds are shown over here. They are always found near the seas. So this was one of the sentences that we had. So here we complete the last exercise of this chapter, that is exercise number 3. As you can see, answers I have given over here. But students, you can even write your own answers. It is not compulsory for you to write the answers which I have given. You should make your own sentences and develop your intelligence. So please write your own answers and we'll check later on. Thank you all of you for watching my video.